Hello, everyone, and welcome to Baku, the capital city of Azerbaijan. It's a beautiful place where old meets new. In this vlog, we'll be exploring all the amazing things Baku has to offer, from its ancient streets to its vibrant markets. Let's dive in and discover the wonders of this incredible city together.
So I've been here for 2 days now and I'm already blown away by this magical city. It is so pretty and the vibe is so different. The city has such a unique character. Like right now I'm in the old city with, it has all these cobblestone streets and ancient buildings and, bathhouses and caravanserais. And the minute you step out of the old city, you're in the new town, with tall buildings and such futuristic designs, beautiful architecture. So it's got a mixed vibe, like there's this old part and then there's a new part, and both are equally pretty. And this trip is a little bit different in the sense that I am hosting a group trip. Basically, there are about 18-20 people, complete strangers. I don't know them, they don't know each other, and I've brought them all together for this trip. So I basically have a huge responsibility to, take care of them. They've all put their trust in me, and so I have to make sure they have a great time here. So I'm a little bit nervous, and which is why I arrived like 2-3 days prior to the group, because I wanted to, also explore the place solo and on my own before the madness begins. But anyway, the group is here now. I will introduce you guys to them in a bit, and in total it's 20 of us, and it's going to be a mad ride. It's going to be so much fun. So we are going to be exploring Azerbaijan for the next 7 days, and we are in Baku for just 2 days. So we have to make the most of our time here because Baku is the highlight of the trip. It's such a beautiful city and there's so much to do here. And then the next couple of days we're going to be traveling to Gabala, Shekhi, Shamaki, and some more places. So stay till the end of the vlog. You're going to be having a lot of fun. I'll show you so many beautiful places here and I'll give you insights and inputs, everything. So in case you plan a trip to Azerbaijan, this video is really going to help you out. So stay till the end.
So let's first talk about how we got here. The journey to Baku was smooth sailing. We hopped on a direct flight from Delhi, and in just a few hours we touched down Baku. Now I know visas can be a hassle sometimes, but thankfully getting into Azerbaijan was a breeze. With the e-visa system in place, we were able to apply online and get our visas approved in just 3 working days. After reaching Baku, our first priority was sorting out the essentials for a smooth trip. For phone connection, Airtel users can easily activate international roaming, which works seamlessly. Otherwise, grab a local SIM from Azercell, they have outlets everywhere. As for currency exchange, carrying US dollars from India is convenient and money exchange shops are scattered all over the city. For getting around Baku, I suggest downloading the Bolt app on your phone. Their cabs are quick, comfortable, and surprisingly cheap. But be prepared for some crazy traffic jams in the city. So if you're traveling a short distance, I highly recommend walking instead. It's a great way to get acquainted with the city and avoid the hustle of traffic. Alright, let's dive into the accommodation part. Where you stay can really make a difference in how you experience Baku. Look for a hotel around Nizami Street, that's where all the action is. There are loads of options there, but I'll be honest, it can be a bit pricey. So if you're looking to save some cash, you can also find hotels within 2 or 3 kilometers off Nizami Street. Just make sure you don't stay too far or you might end up spending more time commuting than exploring. Let's talk about when to visit Baku. Baku is great most of the year, but winters can be really cold, so it's best to avoid them unless you're okay with that. April to June and September to November are the best times to go. The weather is just right. I went in April and it was perfect. The days were nice and cool for exploring, and the evenings were a bit cooler, which was actually refreshing. Plus, April falls in the shoulder season, so hotels and flights are much cheaper, making it even more enticing to plan your trip during this time. We had a bit of rain, but it didn't ruin our trip at all. So if you're planning a trip to Baku, spring or fall is the way to go. Now that we've got the basics covered, let's dive into getting to know Baku a bit better. The city center, known as the Nizami area, is where all the action happens. It's like the beating heart of Baku, bustling with shops, cafes, and restaurants. You name it, and it's all there. And the best way to experience it all is to simply walk around and let the city unfold before you. Some of the best experiences come from those spontaneous discoveries you make while wandering around. Trust me, you need to ditch the rigid itinerary and give yourself the freedom to roam and explore at your own pace. That's when you'll truly get to feel the vibe of the city. So, right next to Nizami Street, there's this beautiful area called the Old Baku, which is the historical core of the city and is surrounded by fortress walls dating back to the 12th century. Back in the day, Old Baku was actually a walled city built to protect its inhabitants from invaders. Inside these walls, you'll find a maze of narrow streets lined with palaces, mosques, bathhouses, caravanserais, and all these other cool buildings reflecting city's rich architectural heritage. Throughout its history, Baku has been ruled by various empires and dynasties, including Shirvanshahs, Mongols, and Russians, and their influence can be seen in the culture and architecture. Honestly, spending time in Old Baku was the highlight of my trip to Azerbaijan. Every narrow alleyway leads to something new and exciting, whether it's a cozy cafe tucked away in a corner or a hidden courtyard with a secret garden. You can sit back, relax, enjoy a chilled beer, or sip on some traditional Azeri tea while soaking in the atmosphere. So, if you ever find yourself in Baku, make sure you take the time to properly explore this area.
So I'm loving the old town so much. Like these streets are so pretty. And a couple of years back I visited Turkey, and this place is reminding me so much of Turkey. Like the architecture is exactly same. Yeah, and the minute you step out of the old town, it gives you very Western Europe vibes. Like it just looks like Paris, like so much like Paris.
Speaking of exploring, Baku also has a lot of museums and cultural centers if you're into that kind of stuff. We checked out the carpet museum and it was really cool. Inside, they had all these super old carpets from way back in time. Even the building itself looks like a rolled up carpet from the outside. How cool is that? And right next to the carpet museum is Dennis Mall, so if you're in the mood for some shopping, you can head over there too. It's super convenient. In the evening, you've got to visit Highland Park. It's this awesome park up on a height where you can get the most amazing view of the city. You can even see the famous flame towers up close. There are some great spots for taking pictures and watching the sunset. Now let's talk about the food and nightlife scene in Baku. Along Nizami Street, you'll find lots of cafes serving great coffee. Second Cup Coffee is a must try for the best brew. The lane where Second Cup is located is super pretty and has tons of other nice cafes to explore. Oh, and if you've got a sweet tooth, you've got to try Ben Ben and Entree. For dining out, most popular restaurants serve local and Turkish cuisines. Vegetarians might struggle a bit, but there are a few Indian restaurants around too which are pretty decent. Baku really comes alive at night, especially when the streets are all lit up. You'll find plenty of bars around, but the nightlife scene isn't exactly buzzing. What's interesting though is that the trend here is live singing at restaurants along with hookah and chai. It's a different vibe, but it's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful. Stay tuned for the next one where I'll be taking you to explore other amazing places in Azerbaijan. Trust me, there's so much more to see and experience, and I can't wait to share it all with you.